Hello friends, I am Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. Today we will discuss about mutable or immutable collections, Scala collections. Before starting with today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. So in all the previous videos we have seen Scala collections like lists, maps, sets, tuples, everything, almost say sequences, whatever usually used collections we have seen in the previous videos. So all these collections are used to store the elements or some data, okay, some data based on the requirements, and we choose which Scala collection to be used in Scala code. If you want some if you have an array of data, you use array, then you need the collection to be unique, then you use set. If duplicates are allowed, you use sequence. If and also the hash sets will be used, right? In the back end, if you see, the hashed collections are used. So based on that and your requirement and your memory requirements, you use the various available Scala collections in your code. So in all these videos we always discussed about like what is mutable, set this is immutable, something like that. So in everything we have seen like which is changeable, I mean we can modify this one of the collections, something like that. So today we will see in detail like what exactly is mutable and what exactly is immutable, and how to add elements for any of the lists. Okay, we will see that, and let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Thank you. So now let's go to the Eclipse. Let me create a Scala worksheet. Okay, by now you must be knowing how to create a Scala worksheet, and if whenever you are stuck in some step, let me know, I will explain you. Okay, so first let's discuss about array, because most of the people who ever already worked in Java, they will be comfortable to use arrays, but arrays are mutable. Okay, so even in the Java code, that if you have noticed, initially in the programs, right, they will create an empty array and then they will start adding elements to this array. So array is a mutable, means that it is changeable, which means that the values can be updatable. Okay, so let's create a array. We'll say array 1 and array of 1 2 3 4. Let's say we have a small array like this. Okay, or if if I mean this is very basic, so let me take the strings as well, anything is fine. Okay, okay, let's take an array, string array of strings. If you see here, array of strings, so if you take, it will accept only the one particular data type it will take. Okay, it won't accept if it contains multiple data types. So now let's try to assign something. Here we are discussing about the mutable and immutable concepts, right? So what I will do is, now this is in the array, this is the 0th position index, first index and second index. So now to the 0th index, let me add something like grapes. So if you see here, it has not given any error. So why? Means arrays are mutable, means changeable, you can add the elements. And to the one you give mango. And now if you do println of array 1, we cannot do because this is array, right? Some junk values will be printed. Okay, let me say, you will understand why I am not giving like that. So how you have to print the arrays usually is for each of println. Now I am saving it. If you see here, the array 1 is created with apple, banana and chiku. This is the initial array, and what we have done is, we have assigned grapes to 0th position, which is the first index, and mango to the second position here. And then when we print the array directly, it has printed the junk values. Okay, so we cannot access the array directly. Okay, so we have to use like for each of println. When you do this like this, only for most of the like arrays, lists, for everything, even for RDDs, then you get the example like, I mean the output like this. And if you see here, apple, banana are gone. It has been replaced with whatever we have done, which means that arrays are mutable. So now you understood the concept of mutable and immutable, right? What we we meant when we always say mutable or immutable means we can add or remove the elements. And next we discussed about lists and vectors. So those are immutable, okay? And even the maps, okay, for that matter. And if you wanted to change something in it, then let's see, okay, instead of discussing theoretical thing, let's discuss with some sample, easy to understand. Okay, yeah, let's create a list one with some list of integers. Okay, and now for this list one, if you assign something like that, if you try to assign something like this, it will give error saying that plus equal to is not a member of list, which means that you have defined a val here, and also lists are usually immutable. So because of that reason you cannot do like this. Okay, and if you are using var here instead of val, if you use var, then you can use it for reassigning the values. Okay, and if you take sets and maps, they both have both event maps, okay, mutable and immutable implementations. So now let's create two sets to see with the example. So let's import this library. Okay, if you do like dot underscore, which is dot placeholder, it will download all the libraries present under this class. Okay, if you don't know which one to import to your code, you can directly do this. One second. Yeah, okay, so now let's create a set. We'll say that it's a mutable set. Here I just wanted to show you the difference. And another one, let's take let's say we have two sets like this. So if you do set -1, okay, and let's save it. If you see here, even though we have declared as a val, here we are saying that it's a mutable set, and it has become 1 2 3 4. And now when you say remove 1 from here, it has removed 1 and it has returned the values only 2 3 4. Clear? Which means it is mutable now. And but if you print this set1, it will have the initial values only. So if you change it, it will be there only for that particular instance, but whereas the main content will not get changed. If you wanted to do like that, then you need to use this operators like this. If you use this operator and then do print ln, you can see here, right? Now the original set has been changed. You understood the difference, right? For this and for this, this is the overloading operator. Okay, so this is an operator, because of that only it has really it's a function kind of. Okay, so that's why it has internally updated set1, and here clearly we can see that the 6 has been the number 6 has been updated inside the set. Whereas if you just do this, this is only for that particular session, and but it will not be updated in the set original set. And also you are able to change this set because you have given that you have declared that as a mutable set. And similarly the set2 plus equal to 4, let's say you are doing like that. Okay, and now if you do print ln set2, If you see here, it's already there, right? So I'll just put it as 5 and I'm saving it. So it has updated. Even though you are given as immutable, here you have declared as a where, which means you can change this set to value. So whatever is you are declaring, whether val or val, that is also important. So it might be a bit confusing as well in your code if you are creating a set one variable with the mutable, then it is considering as mutable only, okay, because it's changeable. By default, if you don't specify anything, by default it will consider that set as immutable set. But whereas if you are purposefully mentioning that it's a mutable, it will consider that. And but in the second case, if you see here, you are giving it as a where, which is variable, and even though you are mentioning that as immutable set, but the immutable set is fine, which is assigned to set2, but again set2 is declared as a var. So this will be this entire statement is overwritten by this one, because when you wanted to change something which you wanted to put it as a mutable, then only you define that as a variable at a high level. So just make sure that when you are working in a project, make sure you don't do these kind of mistakes. It will give lot of misunderstanding to the code, and you don't know, sometimes you will think that this will be immutable, but this is not. You have clearly seen this, right? Because of this var. So just make sure just understand the concept of mutable and immutable in the Scala collections and work in your code accordingly. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this difference, friends. This most of the people make mistakes in this, and because of that some Stack Overflow errors will come because of that. Okay, and because of same variable has been shared across the threads, right? So that thread safety also we have to take care. So make sure that you follow all these kind of small errors. You just try to ignore and work with the Scala collections. Thank you for watching the video, friends. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.